All right, today we are back on the MTGOs. This time we're playing Modern. Apologize, I'm a little bit under the weather, but hopefully it shouldn't get in the way of the recording too much. I might talk a little bit less than usual, is what it is. But I believe this was the best performing deck at the Modern Pro Tour, which is Esper Blink. So basically a black-white deck splashing for Quantum Riddler, Teferi, Caveiro, and some consigned memories in the sideboard. But yeah, we're just using Felia and Ephemerate to blink some important permanents. Felia, of course, can blink the Black Overlord after you play it for 2 mana. Then it comes into play, you get another card, so you can gain obscene amounts of it card advantage. We have a bunch of things that we can put into play on the cheap, and then blink with Ephemerate or Felia. I guess in the case of Solitude, this one gets sacrificed, so it doesn't really work as well with Femia, but hopefully I don't mess too much. Like these modern decks are always tricky, and I don't really play modern, so hopefully I'll note things like that. But there are also some Flicker Wisps for redundancy in the blinking. Mana base, just a bunch of fetches. Nothing too important to say about that. Emperor Bones, another interesting card, sort of like a reanimator graveyard hate piece that you can reset with your blink effects after you adapt it. Yep. And then sideboard, we have High Noon. I assume this is just for the combo decks, specifically like Storm. Extra Mana Disruption, Clarion Conquer can stop Belcher. Wrath Disguise for any of the small permanent decks, things like Affinity. Consign for Eldrazi and all sorts of other decks. And then Graveyard Hate with Surgical. Vindicate is just like probably just a flex slot. I don't really know what this is for. Maybe it's just for mirrors when you have grindy matchups and you want to overlord into it. When I was playing standard, like overlord being able to find this was a pretty big deal. Um so I'm not 100% sure, but I'm probably going to try putting it in the grindy matchups. And then there's a damping sphere too. So that is it for the deck. I will try to remember to leave a Moxfield link in the description of the video, and let's record a few matches and get it going. I'll see you all in the games. All right, you get to what? I get to go first. Have some thought seizes, and then set up. Go Tapland, thought seize, Tapland. Not sure if I'm supposed to keep the extra one. Oh boy. All right. Well, if I knew that it was this deck, I would have thought seized sooner, but we might just be dead. Yeah. Stuff like this is part of why I'm not the biggest fan of Modern. Not that interested in playing games of Magic that look like this. Sure. So I can't Thoughtseize my opponent unless they bauble now. I mean, it's a tough sell, right? Because if I don't Thoughtseize, I can't turn through the Quantum Riddler. Well, that gives me a blocker. I take in the air. I can eat a thing. I'll just hope to spike. Um, Winning with this Riddler. Yeah. Okay. Well, my opponent just has the nuts. I guess this could have been turn one, or is this? I know it couldn't have because they had to play that. They drew another one. All right. Good game. Not sure if Fatal Push really even matters. Um, I want the extra one of these. I guess so. How many pushes do I want? I mean, they're just going wide, right? I don't think it's good. Maybe Thoughtseize ends up being better on the play. Very kind of sucks, right? So what are the cards I could maybe have? Push, this thing. I don't think it even matters. Vindicate's probably fine, but not good. I need one card in, so what's my favorite of these three? I guess we'll just go with push. Oh, it's 61 cards, isn't it? Alright, we'll try the Vindicate. So if I recall correctly, the Affinity deck plays one basic. Yep. Through a drum. So they're just gonna get to rebuke my Vindicate. It's not gonna be that good, but maybe they end up using mana or something. Like if they draw a threat, I don't know. Okay, so what are we doing if we ephemerate? Guess we can wait. We're really in a hurry. I'm gonna draw my Vindicate, attack them. And then I guess in their upkeep, I can ephemerate. Well, the extra value from it's not that appealing. It doesn't make it so they can't play a land if they draw it. And I think I can no-sir the ephemerate, right? Not really sure what the plan was with that rebuke. Alright, so do I want to vindicate anything? Guess I may as well. Could go after the drum instead, but I mean, they can't cast anything that isn't a 0 this way. Suppose this is a red source, though. Main phase Gal Blast. Okay. Saga, sure. Hmm. Go ahead and surveil. If I could top that, I think I'm just supposed to push. Like, I would rather use the Solitude sooner, but again, I'm not really in a hurry. It's 2. So they need red source and artifact to get the Gal Blast. There's artifacts. Now they need red source. I mean, what a beating. Very different games of Magic we just played. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could have Consign. What does Consign stop that I care about? Let me just run it back. Like, if they play 7 cards on the first turn, like they did in game 1 again, they can have the win. It is what it is. It's gonna be hard to beat that if they just have the nuts on the play twice. Like I said, it's just games like that. I don't really have that much fun playing modern games like that or what's going on. Could have mulliganed this hand, but I don't know. I kind of just, what do I want? I want Wrath this guy's. Thoughtseize not going to have as much of an impact. Alright, Shadow Spear turn 1 is not the same as the other thing. They mulliganed, or no, they kept 7. Okay. My hand is good, though. I have Conquer, I have Felia plus Overlord, I have Ephemerate, now I have Solitude. I think we'll top a land. I mean, maybe I don't need the 4th land, but... And, you know, to each their own. I'm sure there are people that think its first game was awesome in Poggers. It's not my favorite way to play games of Magic. Okay, so I can Solitude this now. It feels like it might be greedy not to. The rest of my hand is so wrapped up and so good. I'm gonna do it. I could be wrong, but maybe the damage is done or whatever, but we'll see. Alright, so that's saved me 2/1/1s. Probably matters for this saga. Oh, they have Kappa. Okay. Yeah. Well, we lost. I think I can probably just concede, right? I, I don't know. What is my catch-up mechanism here? I don't think I have one. Can't really deal with the Kappa. I need like Rat this guys or whatever, but if you just draw this card all your games, you'll win. That's how it works. I assume they drew it for turn because they didn't do this on turn 1. Um, so unlucky, but is what it is. We draw Solitude. This is Ward 4, so yeah, this card basically can't be killed. And it's pseudo unblockable. And they have a Saga going, so what the hell am I even supposed to do anyway? Yeah, it's basically just a turn 3 kill. Okay, GG. Alright, every hand has these surveil lands. Kind of annoying, but I think it's fine here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe Blue White Control. I don't really know how that matchup goes. Maybe a mirror match, I guess. Yeah, it looks like it's a mirror. It could be Goryo's. Which maybe that's what these are for. Yeah, I guess it's kind of good against the tracks, alright. Okay, do I want to ephemerate my solitude? How big of a mistake is that? Yeah, let's see if we get the payoff here. So I want the revoke to happen second. You're gonna get exiled. And then I'm going to ephemerate you. You're gonna get exiled. So that's a beat. Random card. Alright, Hollowed Fountain, Fatal Push, Riddler. Okay. Things are happening. Feels like I'm winning because I have more stuff in play, but that seems like something that could change quickly. Not really sure the best way to like get value out of Solitude, but seems like what I did should be reasonable. I think that's the second time I've ephemerated, and then like the rebound hasn't mattered. It's just been a cloud shift. Maybe that's a common occurrence. Maybe that's just how things are going. Sure. Had worse things happen to me in my life. I don't think I need that thingy. Do anything here. Okay. Well, how many basics do I have? I have 4. They probably have 4. Try to get my own Teferi down. I don't know if that really matters. I'll be just plussing it anyway, and I think I'd rather just tick this stuff. There's a Felia. We know they have a Fatal Push. Would I rather just go after their mana and make it a little bit awkward? Kind of interesting. I guess the second... the fact that it's a second threat means that potentially... if they're blue, they're just going to need to use the push here anyway, and then this one might get to stick around. So they should have 2 planes left in their deck. Artifact or enchantment? Okay, do I want to just jam my Felia and kind of cross my fingers? I think so. But also, I guess I can Teferi first. Kind of forgot this thing was a land. Subtlety. Okay, so that's a card that is not in my deck. That's in their deck. So I bought him Teferi. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but in theory, I could just subtlety this and I guess attack. Even if they play the Riddler, the Felia will just die. The Solitude will come back and trade for the Riddler. No, okay, that's bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say here. I think we're kind of just waiting. All of our play, like, the Fairy is another card. Like, I get that it's not that good in Modern or whatever, but it makes games of Magic really uninteresting because it just takes away decision points. Like, I have to play at sorcery speed, so there's not that much for me to think about or discuss because it's like, okay, do I want to use my mana or not? So, yeah, I do. I'll play my Solitude. Okay, well, now that's something to think about. Yeah, I'm not that worried about this 3/3. I guess I would rather Solitude the other thing anyway. Could technically play this and then Solitude, but I'm fine with the other way, I think. Alternatively, we just what? So they're gonna probably just play this as a 4/6. I won't be able to attack into it. Um, I'm just gonna jam this dude. Oh my, okay. Do this right. To have Ephemerate, my life sucks, but it's gonna suck either way. I have another subtlety. Wow. Well, I mean, these seem pretty good in the mirror. Just no matter what I did, I was getting. You want to top that? And then just like mill a white card in Solitude? No land. There's a Riddler. I'm at 9? Huh. Kind of an interesting spot. I really don't want to die. So there's a 3-turn clock. I guess I'll just take the Riddler. Maybe not. Maybe there was a better choice there. It's a big flyer, though. If I find a white card, I'm probably drawing 2 off of it. I guess one of the things I should have calculated for was their Teferi bouncing my creature, because then I'm getting another 2-mana Overlord. And then maybe it means I can just get the Riddler in a different way. Okay, so there's a land. That changes a lot for the opponent. Maybe they just have Solitude now and they can kind of cruise through. Are we Sphinxing? Sure. Okay, do you want to attack me then? You do. Ephemerate. Another subtlety. We have Solitude. Well, it seems like we should have control of this game. And our hand is a Solitude. We have the board by a whole lot. We have a lifelinker. We have an Ephemerate. Kind of just have it all. I mean, maybe with the way that this game split out, the Riddlers looked sort of unimportant. So maybe I could have just taken like a, I don't know, Thalia or something. That would have been better. Very nice. Well, subtlety does seem good, but... Or what the hell am I supposed to board? I assume the scariest thing for me as someone who doesn't know much about Modern is like, what do I do about the dog? And how many fatal pushes am I supposed to have in? Because if this happens, you could easily lose the game, right? You're probably not supposed to just be completely cold to Thalia. But how many fatal pushes do I want? Because it's not very good against anything else. I guess I want Teferi and Aven and Thoughtseize. I want all my own Thalia stuff. I think I probably want Emperor Bones, Flicker Wisp. Matic ending is pretty bad, right? I killed Teferi with it. I don't really care about Teferi. I could do just more like big stuff and then just have 3 pushes. 3 pushes, 4 Thoughtseize to check Velia. Then Solitude. What do I think could be good? I mean, maybe White Orchid Phantom's better than I appreciate. Because we're playing a 3-color mirror. Also an extra thing to ephemerate, but... You want, of course. Alright. Yeah, this list was 61, so... Is what it is. Wouldn't recommend playing 61, but... I also think people overreact, and it just doesn't... It's not a big deal. You play 61 cards. Okay, well, we're playing a Thoughtseize Mirror. I have a really mopey hand, though. I'm gonna mulligan. I just want, like, ephemerate stuff or my own Thoughtseize. Could be wrong, but... Okay, so this doesn't work. kind of an interesting spot where, like, what am I supposed to play towards in my top deck? Do I think the Felly is going to get to live? I want to keep Emperor, I want to keep Felly, and I want to keep Thoughtseize, so I'm thinking about getting rid of one of these. Solitude works with Emperor, it doesn't work with Felly. I think I'm just going to get rid of Ephemerate, even though that feels sort of bad. I'm going to keep the Felly and just, like, play for top decks. If they have as many Fatal Pushes as I do, this thing might die, but I do have a Thoughtseize to look, so... I don't know. Consigned to memory. So this is just a stifle, right? Counter triggered ability of colorless. Triggered ability or colorless spell, okay. So they have Felia, they have Teferi. Well, their Felia doesn't do anything. They don't have black mana. Have an answer for their Felia. I guess I'm taking push. I don't really know what's correct. Like, the Teferi is going to be annoying. I'm kind of just going to try to... I don't know. I think I'm just going to try to do the Riddler stuff. Felia for Felia. I have a Solitude, but if I play my Felia, I don't get to pitch the white. Okay. Okay. I think they're going to Teferi. We're going to Felia Solitude and then hope to draw Blue Source. Exile up to one other target non-land permanent. So yeah, you can blink your Teferi. They're just bouncing this. I don't know why I didn't realize that, but that is how Teferi works. You have to play your cards, so Flashlings don't do anything against it. But whatever. Means we get to replay it, right? Okay, so we know, or no, we don't. This Flash 1/4. I guess I was supposed to play this first, right? To eat the Solitude. Probably doesn't matter that much. Like, either they draw an answer to it next turn or I still just do it. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard for me to play around this. I think forcing the 1/4 to be played instead of just, like, saved is probably decent for me. You know, is what it is. That's the card they drew off the fairy, I guess. Alright, yeah, I'm fine with this. Run it back. Maybe I don't need as many pushes. Consign for the mirror is interesting. Is that actually good? I mean, someone could tell me. I'm not boarding them in, but you want to just stifle a random thingy? I guess you can stifle your warp triggers? Maybe? I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's actually good or not. After that first match, this match feels like it is taking an eternity. But the other match was just like me dying on turn 2 and then turn 3, so it went fast. I guess, and the second game was me just like destroying my opponent's everything with land destruction, Wrath Disguise. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure like what I'm supposed to be doing in these matchups. Hopefully I'm not doing anything too egregious. Anyone watching is like ripping their hair out. Alright, I think this is obviously a keep. I don't have blue mana, but I just have everything I want. This doesn't really do anything yet, but Subtlety, Riddler. So a one lander on the draw. Um, you just take the push. I have two Felias though. I mean, it's gonna be hard to get through that, right? That's a pretty reasonable one lander to keep. Um, here we go. Yeah, if they just find a land and play a frog, we probably die, right? Their hand is like my hand was good, but their hand is actually just sort of perfect if they just draw a land. They have everything wrapped up. They don't even have to subtlety because they can just eat the Felia. But I guess Feli can blink the frog, and I can just try to trade damage. But it's gonna be hard for me to do combo stuff. So if they find a land and just play a frog here, we're probably doomed. We still even need a blue source, so I think this game is we're not in a good spot. So no black source means they didn't draw push, or I guess they didn't see the card. Doesn't mean anything. Okay, do you want to subtlety this? I will gladly put this on the bottom. It's kind of interesting, like which one do you subtlety? Alright, so now let's just get it going. Get white and blue. Alright, cool. So this means that we also have this guy turned on, for whatever that's worth. Okay. Alright, well, we really dodged a bullet with no frog. Now the question is, we're in the same spot if they just draw the black source. I have second Felia, so I guess I'm just going to blink the Riddler. Another subtlety. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a fair keep for the opponent. Like, they're on the draw, they have a Surveil land, they have a pitch spell, they have all twos. The frog's like really good in the Felia mirror if I don't have Fatal Push. They just missed. Alright, GG's. Alright, we're gonna go first. So, I keep. Yes? Oh shit. Okay. That's a lot of very good cards. Huh. Alright, well, we're gonna need some solitude action, I think. Which we can find. I could just get an island. Solid fountain too. You're gonna be lazy, I guess. Could even get swamped. Do I have island in my deck? There's no island. Okay. Well, we could just get swamp. Save this for like a surveil land anyway. Yeah, I mean the damage might matter. I don't know. It's probably supposed to just play this and get planes at that point. Could mill it though. Uh-oh. Alright, it would appear we do not have Solitude. We're getting frogged. Got it. Now they have Sink, Polluted Delta. Oh, shit. Um... This is interesting. So how crazy is it if I go Felia, block, Ephemerate? Is that insane or is that like 5-head? What are the odds they play the second frog? I'm trying to think of like the likelihood they'll leave up Sink either way. Let's just play Felia now and see what they do. Spell Snare. Okay. Rixes? That Spell Snare was pretty annoying. Huh. Do I want that? Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's just going to translate to Ophelia. Like, land's not even bad here because I can hardcast a Solitude, but also the Overlord's just going to get me to it. Nothing. So Sink, go. What am I getting got by this time that I don't know about? Subtlety? Sure. I mean, yeah, this is fine. Always subtlety, apparently. Yeah, it's gone. If I can main phase this, I guess I will. Like, they could draw more spell snares. Just have a second subtlety. Sure. I think I still want it. Unholy Heat. I guess waiting gives me the option to pitch, but still think I like it better this way. Any fanciness I can do? Not really, right? Have that. Let me go ahead and main phase it. If they have another subtlety and a blue card, is what it is. I think once this happens, the game probably just ends. I don't really know what comeback mechanics my Grixis opponent is going to have to this. This is just like such a disgusting blowout. Another Solitude, I don't know. Could have taken Felia. Mishra's Bauble. What the hell? The Heats? Okay. Alright, so we're against Grixis. Blue-black with Unholy Heat. What it looks like. Probably some sideboard cards for us. Do I want this for the Quantum Riddler Mirror? They have Spell Snare in their deck as well. Push for Frog. I think they've got a pile of islands. I don't know how important this is going to be. It's probably fine. I could see having all of them in. I could see having all the pushes. I could see having all of these. Very big Psychic Frog, too. I want Vindicate? I don't think so. I mean, maybe it's better than the fourth push. It can kill a frog, but it also can kill a Riddler. Just a big idiot. Ending's pretty bad. I'm going to try to fit all these cards in. And I'm fine with cutting the White Orchid. So we got to cut 3. It is Aven. I think Aven's kind of nice. Fairies, whatever. Getting Spell Snare. I don't know if I can ever board out of these redraw effects. I'm just going to try no Phantoms. Like, I know I could, you know, if I hit a red-black land or whatever, it could be good if the deck's all islands, but they have Spell Snares. They clearly have basics, so. Well, it's interesting. I'm gonna mulligan. If you told me their hand was like a Thoughtseize, maybe I would keep that hand, but I don't even know if my opponent has Thoughtseize in their deck. I don't need double white because I don't have the Phantoms or whatever. Eat subtlety, subtlety. Well, they mulligan to Oblivion and then got Thoughtseize in their hand as a pitch spell, so this one might be over before it began. Shock is interesting. So if they're locking in a subtlety, what is shock for? I think I'd rather just do the flash thing. Okay. Eldritch Edict. Okay. That'll be good for next turn. I think I'm just deferring now, and if they want to play main phase, maybe this was a mistake because if I don't know the likelihood they're overlording the or they're subtletying the Belmark. Subtlety. I guess I'm gonna top this. Not that exciting, but they don't have a threat. So I mean, if they draw like a Psychic Frog, they're just playing towards the Sphinx, right? All they want to do is draw the Sphinx. Maybe means I don't want Teferi because it's kind of slow. I guess I want that. I don't know. Okay. Well, not the most exciting ending, but we'll take it. GG's. Right, we are on the draw. It's like a keep to me. We've got Felia and Riddler. I hope our opponent doesn't do the affinity thing again. We don't just die, but I think this is a keep. The dark. Oh boy. Alright, Mono Blue Belcher. How is that matchup gonna go? Another deck that does not really get me excited about playing Modern. Okay, so does Flicker was just Stone Rain? Ephemerate. Well, we've already got this wrapped up. What are the odds they counter the Felia? And then I want this. If Flicker Wisp is Stone Raid, I guess I want Ephemerate. This says attacks exile 1 non-land. This says exile not target permanent, and then it blinks it. So this is not a permanent. This is not a permanent. So it is just Stone Rain. Yeah, so it looks like they have a wait. I guess it's subtlety. I don't really know what all this deck plays. No, it plays Force Negation. I know it plays Thundertrap Trainer and then the other thingy. But not sure what else. Okay, so what can I do to get fancy here? I don't think I need to get fancy. I think I'm just gonna cast Flicker Wisp. Like the fact that force doesn't stop this. I mean, like them thinking about the Felia means maybe they do have something, but I don't even know what this card does. It's just Swan Song, I guess. So I suppose maybe you make the argument that I'm supposed to wait because this is higher value. But if they draw Thundertrap Trainer or whatever, and then they turn on their Force, like Force costs 3, right? So I think it's probably right to go for it, even though a little awkward. Does this make a copy, or do I get the actual card? shoal. Okay, I guess they could have shoaled the other thing as well. They have one card left. Yeah, I've got Witch Enchanter for Belcher. I just need to kill them before this Lotus comes off, I guess. But I also can have Ephemerate plus. I guess it doesn't do anything, does it? I guess I just blow up the Lotus in their upkeep. Beginning of your upkeep, yeah. Okay, I mean, this deck seems pretty well equipped for Belcher. Like, these are the type of things where, like, as a non-modern player, I don't appreciate them until I play the games. But, like, Witch Enchanter being able to kill Belcher in a spot where they have 4 mana is a big deal, because we don't have counter spells. Flicker Wisp being able to punish them for having the mana base they have is also a really big deal. So, things that, you know, I definitely don't appreciate until playing the games, but it's nice to learn about stuff like that. Alright, so, Consign. Is Damping Sphere even good? No, right? Maybe Vindicate's fine. Maybe Surgical is okay. What do I do with Surgical? Yeah, I mean, I have so much hate. Okay, so these are good. Probably gonna board in, what, like a Mountain? They're still good. And then Consign counters Belcher. What's the other win condition? It's like Tameshi bullshit. I think I want the Vindicate. Is there a way I can stop this Tameshi stuff? It's just, I think it's like 1 mana. I guess if I exiled the Lotus, and I think Consign is good, but I don't really know. Triggered ability or color spell. So if they were for the thingy, then we just die. Uh-huh. 4 - 3. I really don't know if Consign is good or not. I'm trying to figure out what cards I think are not good. I can board out a Solitude. I'm just gonna do this. Look at his ending. Maybe push is better than I appreciate because you blow up the force play. Which matters if I'm like Flicker Wisping, for example. I don't know. Good enough. I don't really want to draw a push, but I could see spots where it's just like, okay. Um, you know, the card advantage doesn't really matter. What matters is being able to resolve the LD disruption type things. This hand, boy oh boy, does this hand have a lot of LD disruption type thing. Alright, let's get black, white. Sign. So they're going to stifle my first LD. Unless I do something about it. They can also stifle with this Jawari. Tap land. I could take untap land, I guess. And then just force the consign. Mountain, maybe. Island, okay. Okay, so now I need to draw untap land, which I did. So now we're gonna get our Flicker Wisp consigned, potentially. And then we're gonna disenchant the Charbelcher. Yep. I kind of just had it all, right? I mean, they had it all too, which is impressive because like I haven't been able to actually LD them. They had the basic, they had the consign. Thoughtseize obviously just traded for whatever, but because they don't have untap land. Meshy, sure. Artifact enchantment. This is just textless beater. Thoughtseize off the top. He did not die. 2 Charbelchers. I didn't top this. I think that's just insane. I guess I'm just not gonna do Riddler stuff. I'm gonna go the LD route. I mean, 2 for 5. I 3-turn them. They 4-turn me. They belt drive 2/2. Then I have Ephemerate for LD. But they have Pitch Spell. I died, but they had to have drawn it. I'm 2-turning. What's the point of Ephemerating? Ephemerate is LD for a turn. I need to draw like a War of Invention. I want them to be off white. I can't die to Charbelcher anyway. I guess getting them off white doesn't matter. It probably doesn't really make a difference. So if they draw Whir and I have Witch Enchanter plus Ephemerate, do I just lose either way? Whatever. Not too much to think about. I mean, my hand was like perfect. I used all of my mana every turn up the curve. Just had it all. Not much opponent could do. All right, GG's. All right, here for the final match. We are 3-1, I think. So doing pretty well for a modern newbie. Yeah, keep. I don't know what I want here. I guess just a land. We go Marsh Flats. Fetch a black-white duel, I think. Could be blue-white as well, but then I can, depending on what they do, I can Emperor or I can Overlord. Overlord, not Overload. That is a Return to Ravnica mechanic. All right, Dookie MTG. What do you got? Come on, not again. Could be Affinity. What is Shock? Oh, can I stifle this? Consign can't hit fetch lands, right? There's no way. That would be lame. I would know about that, right? So it's blue-white versus black-white. I said black-white, right? It doesn't matter unless I draw all planes. There's a land. Trawler Teferi. I assume Teferi is better. Do I just want the land, though? Teferi seems like a potentially important card versus the blue Belcher deck. I'm not even sure where it fits in my hand, but I mean, just getting this as a land is nice, but I'm not sure how important that'll be. All right, trainer. They have a million cards. Do I just want to try to do Riddler stuff? Do what? I could Solitude the Teferi, and then I don't think they have any fives, so I assume they have some ones. Do they not have ones? I think the deck has some ones, like Spell Snares or whatever. Into the Flood Maws. Could just Solitude the Otter, and then they have to force my Ephemerate. And then otherwise, plan B is just Emperor Bones plus Idiot Trawler. 1/1 counter, put a creature card exile with this graveyard, finally counter sack it. So I could get their trainer. Alright, I'm overthinking it. I'm just going to play this. Kind of an interesting spot where there's like a million different things to play around, but Thoughtseize. Okay. This deck without Lotus on turn 1. Like I assume that this matchup is like probably decent to good. Unless they have Lotus on turn 1, and then it's maybe scary. But that might just be true for the Belcher deck in general. Like, they could Whir for whatever, too. Okay. Well, that might be a Whir. Do I want a card or do I want 4 damage? Clock is 7 and 3. Probably just want 4 damage. So if the Teferi gets to resolve, which it probably won't, but like potentially I could what? Teferi plus. Then next turn I have Emperor bounce 1/3. 2 words. Well, shit. Scolding, sink. The were for... Were for what? Were for Lotus, and then you have 7 mana on your turn. Joel pitches at 3. I could take the 3 and then to Fairy. Fairy plus attack. You were for Lotus. You can't kill me, I don't think. But I probably can't kill you. I guess they always pitch. I take Shoal. Yeah, I mean, their hand kind of just does it all, right? And they have the Scolding, so I'm not going to be able to kill them. Guess I'm just going to go after the Whir. Supposed to Emperor somehow. Okay, so we were for Lotus. Then I have a 2-turn clock here. Can I get extra damage? No, right? So this is gain life equal to what? Power. Go to 8, and then this gives me a hasty 3-1. So I have 7. Yep. I guess the Emperor probably always gets Scalding anyway, so just have to 2-turn them in the air, I think. Kind of happy I didn't ephemerate this. My clock being a turn faster is like actually hugely relevant from this position. So they have so they need land. The Beltrame, they need land. And it can't be, they have to play a land this turn because we're going to hit them down to 3. All their lands will come into play tapped. I guess that's what they added. I think you just draw Belcher and kill me. Waterlog Teachings? Okay. What does Waterlog Teachings get actually? Just into the Flood Maw? Depth 2 to 4/4. These stat scaling matters. Um, Wait a second. I guess I have to stern scolding this. So, did I just miss lethal? Yes. So, this game was won. I'm just a noob. I just go pitch Solitude, they scolding, and then I eat it, and then attack. But lethal. Okay. Well, nice to know. That's my bad. I see it now. I kind of forgot. So in my head, I had it locked that Solitude made it so it wasn't lethal, because this was always 1. But in the case of Philology, it's not always 1. So this game was 1, I just punted. If we lose, assuming we lose. But kind of an interesting spot. Sort of complicated, but yeah, I mean, the reason I didn't do it was for dumb reasons, which was, I don't know. I don't. One is Swords to Plowshare power. I don't play with Plow ever. Is there one that's toughness? I don't know why. I just assume it's toughness. Tribute to Hunger toughness. I can't remember. Somewhere along the way, I got tripped up, but it's fine. We saw the line. I mean, that's winning is great, but also realizing mistakes right after you make them is useful. It means it's less likely you're going to do them in the future. If I just don't notice that mistake, then not really anything learned. So now they have the Tapland tutor, right? 4 and 3. You can get a 3. Instant card or a card with flash. Bounce. So this has to get bounced, and then this gets a Solitude, and this is lethal. What are we thinking about? Counterspell, maybe? Just like main phase on the Riddler? I mean, they don't know I have the extra Emperor Bones, so they don't know they're dead. I can't imagine that there's a single card that deals with 2 lethal threats. What is this one's like? It's 5 mana, right? It's a sorcery too. Okay, I'm not reading that. Opponent decided to just AFK when I have lethal. Very unlucky. It's fine. I think they're trying to figure out if they're supposed to play around a counterspell or not. Okay. Alright, what did we do last time? Had 1 fatal push, which is weird, but I think kind of tracks. And then I couldn't decide on consigns. I think I opted against them. I think this is how we boarded last time. I'm fine with this. Counter target triggered ability or colorless spell. So like I can stifle a 2. That's fine. I can counter a Charbelcher. Obviously very, very good for 1 mana. I can counter a Lotus Field, but I can't counter the mana added from it. So the question is, if I'm putting in consign, what am I taking out? I'm taking out Fatal Push and like, I don't know, Emperor of Bones. Maybe Solitudes. I'll do this. Not sure how good Emperor is anyway. Whatever, we're experimenting. If you know the right number of consigns to put in versus Belcher, feel free to tell me. Let me know with a comment below because I really don't know. My concern is just obviously that when they have word draws, be annoying. But I guess I mentioned how important um Lotus seemed. So if they suspend it and you have consign, that's like pretty valuable. You get to counter their Black Lotus in the combo deck or whatever. Well, this hand looks perfect. Looks like the same hand we had last time. Thoughtseize, LD, LD, Belcher answer. Like maybe we're getting shoaled, or I mean, I think most of the time when it comes to pitch spell and Thoughtseize, the conclusion is I'm not gonna use it. I would rather just have more cards and then you see my hand. They could be AFK, they could be in the tank. I'm trying to think, like, what is the thing? Why would you use a pitch spell? What would you protect? I don't really know what it is, but we'll find out. So maybe they're thinking, do I want to play my thing, or do I want to leave up for spike? We can get planes, right? Creature, this one is not. I guess I want to blow up the creature. I can also just get rid of the white source. Again, I'm going to guess that my opponent has a basic, but if they have a second weird, I think I go after weird because if they have second weird, it's kind of awkward for me. I guess it's so likely they play a non-creature that maybe I want to just fight over the white source, but the island's kind of interesting. We're like, okay, if everyone is boarding an island against me, am I supposed to have these? I think the answer is yes. You're supposed to draw these alongside Ephemerate, and then your opponent like can't win or whatever. But it is kind of interesting considering that like 100% of the time, at least for like the next few weeks, people are gonna have this island. And maybe that was true before, and I just don't pay attention to modern. I think for a while people had a mountain because of what's it called? The way Char Welcher works, but it is interesting. Because like from this spot, if I just play this and nothing else, it's just like nothing really happened. I didn't do anything. Oh, hello. Well, I still think I want the threat. Might be easier for them to shoal it, but also Ephemerate is what better against Force as an instant, potentially. Yep. Alright, good beats. Good old Charbelcher. Alright. Well, I mean, we had the nuts. They had the nuts on the play. Like, we're playing modern. Not gonna be too surprised. So yeah, I mean that you could potentially argue that's the spot where Consign would be good if I had it in my hand over a different card. I could have just countered the Charbelcher and then left up Ephemerate. And we could have fought that way, but I don't know. Maybe they had another counter spell anyway. So yeah, like one of the problems with the Fatal Push plan I talked about is if they just have two things, it doesn't really matter if the Fatal Push every creature they have. So should probably take out a Solitude, right? Maybe you don't need any Solitudes in your deck. Oh boy. I mean this hand is probably not beating anyone, but we'll try. Yeah, this is rough. There's the Lotus. This one might be quick. Second White Source is kind of nice, I guess, but they're just going to get a basic, so they could draw their basic, obviously. Be a Psycho and Surgical or land if I get the Flicker Wisp. So what did I care? I cared about Surgical for Lotus. Lotus Tameshi, it stops that. I have to read Tameshi, though. I assume it's at sorcery speed. I'm not 100% sure, though. Can't Surgical here. It's part of the card resolving. There's not really a point where I get to block it, so... That'd be two separate triggers. We just took a thingy. Okay. I fear we may be dead. Matchup does seem close though. Like I think it could just break either way. It's like pretty volatile. You just want Thoughtseize and basically Flicker Wisp. But like if they ever brick, like if their counter spells don't line up and they can't interact with your stuff, I assume you just run away with the game instantly. Okay, Thoughtseize. You get a Black Lotus. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong with my opponent's Black Lotus? Yep. The counter spell. All right. Well, I can surgical the flare. It's kind of interesting. Guess there's no hurry. Emerate. I can surgical flare witch enchanter, but then I'm just gonna get obliterated by a Tameshi. I guess they don't have white mana though. Oh, I forgot to fetch. Holy shit. Sorry, I'm not used to playing with fetch lands. I meant to get a surveil land. Oops. Well, let's just pay 2 life. Your hand double flare? Feels like that's the only reason you would do that, right? Then you would just flare this, right? Maybe not. Or maybe? I thought we were just going to be dead, but maybe we're not. So, they draw Belcher, I lose. But if they draw Belcher, I probably lose anyway. So if I draw Belcher, they can't play it next turn. Because I can just ephemerate the 2/2. But then I'm just gonna die to it anyway. I think I just need them to not draw Belcher this turn. They draw Tameshi. They draw Tameshi, I'll be pretty happy I ephemerated. I guess I can just kind of lean on the... Yeah, missing on the Surveil land was really bad. Lean on the Overlord. But they have 8 draws in their deck that just kill me. This cuts off. Like, the Belcher is still probably going to kill me. I don't even know. I guess I just have to draw another Blink, or this has to connect and then I have to get another one. Which seems plausible. Like, pretty reasonable. This could find a Felly as well. So if they draw Belcher here, they can't play it. So they draw land. I don't ephemerate, they go to 15, and then I have Overlord. Okay, so they draw Belcher, I don't die, but I have to hit Witch Enchanter. If they don't draw Belcher, means now I can hit Felia. I want to do this first. I think I do. I think the game's going to end in a few turns anyway. So this is maybe worse. I want the mana for like a Sphinx or whatever, but... Okay, so that's just a card I can draw. I think I'm better off pressing the damage and looking for like a Felly or whatever. Flicker Wisp. We have 7, 10. Okay, so maybe they drew a Whir and then they draw a Belcher. Okay. So Belcher would kill me. Alright, nice. So 4-1 with the Esper deck as a modern newbie. I'll take it. This deck's actually not that hard to play, I don't think. But I don't know, Magic's hard. But I'm not sure. Where are we looking? This deck. I thought it would be a little bit scarier than it is. I need to figure out how to sideboard a bit better, but like for the most part, you just do A plus B combo and then you're a mid range deck. Was it fun? It was fine. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of modern. Um, we lost to Affinity where they just like killed us on turn 3 twice or whatever. But that matchup seems okay. Like it's just sort of Wrath Disguise reliant and play draw dependent. Like if I just get the Thoughtseize, the warp thingy, we're fine. But that was fun. It's always nice, like regardless of how much I love or don't love modern, it's nice to just try things that are different and I haven't played in a while. So I think this is the second modern video going up since the Pro Tour. But yeah, I believe, unless my information is incorrect, this was the winningest deck at the Pro Tour, and I think I could see why. It seems like it was built with Belcher in mind. It probably built with the rest of the metagame in mind. Um, just has a lot of like useful tools in different ways and does a powerful thing. So if you want to play a quote unquote fair deck, kind of a scam deck, I think this is a good place to be, assuming you can get the cards. But thank you guys for watching some modern. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to let me know if you want to see more modern. Hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Peace.